Welcome to JSA TV, where we're covering the latest news, trends, and innovations from thought leaders from within the digital infrastructure space. And we are coming at you live. That's right, Ben. We are live at PTC 2026 in beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii. And this good-looking guy to my right is Mr. Ben Thomas. Ben is the president at Future Form Manufacturing. Ben, welcome to JSA TV.
Hi, Dean. Thank you so much for having us here. We couldn't be more excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to our conversation.
As am I, Ben. And to tee up that conversation, when I left Chicago a couple of days ago, it was 13 degrees. When I landed in Hawaii, it was 73 degrees, and my body is still attempting to adjust to the climate change. And that is kind of what we're going to talk a little bit about, climate and ultimately your place in the climate discussion at Future Form Manufacturing. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. It is it's very nice here. You know, we're up in Reno, Nevada, so similar situation for us. It's really nice here as well.
Yeah.
So yes, climate does play a pretty important role in the manufacturing process. So we're a sheet metal fabrication company. So think flatbed lasers, tube lasers, robotic welding, robotic bending, manual welding. We've got powder coating, CNC machining, assembly, right? So what do you think some of the factors play in a steel sheet metal manufacturer? What do you think humidity has to do with any of that?
You said you were going to ask me some questions, and you come out with that one right out of the gate. You know what, Ben? I mean, do the machines run less efficient in higher humidity?
Yeah, I'll give you a clue with it. So when you're dealing with steel outside, if it's humid, it can rust outside really easily, right? So in Reno, we have over 300 sunny days per year where there is no precipitation, there's no snow or rain. It's just a sunny, nice day, right?
Yeah.
So that factors in when we have truckloads of steel coming in every single day. It's not getting rained on the way in. We store all of our stuff inside. So that makes it a lot easier to win when we don't have to battle humidity and things like that.
That is fantastic segue, Ben. Nice job, man.
Yeah. There's more to it, too, in terms of powder coating, right? Are you familiar with the powder coating process at all?
In so much as that I believe that in automotives, they will powder coat truck beds or the underneath of cars.
Very industrial, like paint coating, right?
Yeah.
So there's a shelf life for powder coating. We store ours in a temperature and humidity controlled environment. That extends the shelf life of it. If you just leave it out in the humidity, it can clump up and you have to throw it away. So there are several advantages of being in the high Sierras and a nice dry, nice warm climate, certainly for manufacturing steel and powder coating stuff.
Ben, I am learning something every second of this conversation.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, no, very, very cool. So for our viewers that don't already know, I'm going to go off script. Why don't you tell them a little bit more about Future Form Manufacturing and the intersection of Future Form Manufacturing and the digital infrastructure industry?
Exactly. That's a great question. So we do support the data center industry. So all that equipment I talked about earlier, we are manufacturing data center cabinets, the real infrastructure that is needed to support this type of industry.
I mean, I shouldn't say we forget about that, but sometimes that kind of thing does not get the kind of attention that it deserves. Folks, when we're talking about data center builds and construction, those cabinets are made of steel. Folks have to, and the manufacturing of those cabinets, it doesn't just drop out of the sky and into the data center. It comes from somewhere. It comes from Future Form Manufacturing.
That's right.
Many cases.
That's right.
I love it. Okay, now I'm going to get back into our questions.
Do it.
Are we cool with that?
Let's do it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So needless to say, 2025 was a pretty banner year for Future Form. Why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about the highlights from 2025?
Yeah, we had a great year last year. There are several things that factored into that. The first one would be our ownership team. So to grow our business the way we did, which was extremely significant, right? In order to do that the right way, you need foresight and you need to invest in the business. So our ownership has invested millions and millions of dollars in a couple of things. Equipment is one of them. So, all that robotic bending equipment, that's expensive, right?
Yeah.
But it does a really good job. And we're not just throwing people at problems, right? We're investing in the smarter equipment that's going to get us there and future-proof us a little bit. But that all takes money and vision, which they are investing in our business. So from the vision from our ownership, they are really putting that behind us and saying, let's go get that done. So that's very helpful in growing the business. Another contributing factor there is our employees. So we have a highly trained, highly skilled group of employees that we are cross-training, right? So it's not just a laser operator, just a brake operator. We are cross-training these people in multiple departments. They're getting paid more when they complete that cross-training. And what we end up with is a highly cross-trained workforce that can go from department to department. So when we get big surges in, like all of last year was a big surge, we're able to move the people where they need to go. And now they're learning programming of the equipment. So it's not just move the bodies, but we're also getting smarter about how you manufacture some things.
No, I mean that makes a whole heck of a lot of sense to me. Like the more highly skilled people who can do kind of a cross function job, the more streamlined and fluid and frictionless that process becomes, more efficient and all of that good stuff.
Exactly. And as we continue to invest in automation, think about like the culture in the shop. So some of these data center cabinets are pretty big. Have you seen some of these? I mean, some of them are 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
It's heavy and hard to manually bend that stuff. So we've invested in automation that will take those heavy manual tough jobs. We put them on the automation. There's still a lot of manual work to do for think about the smaller parts that might not go in the automation. But we're taking a lot of those ergonomic issues away. The automation can run 24/7, which it does. So that has really allowed us to scale in a way that keeps our quality where it needs to be, it keeps our safety where it needs to be, and ultimately allows us to provide quality parts on time.
Man, I love this conversation so much because there are so many different ancillary players that ultimately are required to make it all work, from the actual metal fabrication for the cabinets to the lighting within the data center. All of these players working together to make it more efficient, make it more sustainable, make it more time to market quicker. I mean, a lot of what you're talking to me about is helping also to alleviate some of the time to market issues that we're seeing across the industry right now.
Absolutely. And that's why we've invested in a prototype division. So we have R&D prototyping for think 1 or 2 piece parts. We have a whole lab for that. We have equipment that can do low volume production runs, and we have automated equipment that I told you about that we can crush high volume production runs all the way through. So from helping our customers with design, prototype a couple pieces, we get it into production, and we get it into high volume, and that's how we're getting it done.
I love it. Ben, thank you so much for our view. Tell us a little bit about 2026. I keep forgetting it's January now. What's in store at Futureform in 2026?
Yeah, so 2026 is going to be a really exciting year for us. We already have even more automated equipment coming online, which is very exciting to see. For us, the really big push and what we're really excited about is getting the right partners in with our business, right? So as we're growing, we now have the ability to say, your values match our values. We care about the same things, which are quality, safety, on-time delivery. We're helping with design. We do continuous improvement, so we can work with customers on what makes more sense on the manufacturing side of things. Ease of manufacturability is what it's called. So we can work with the right partners on smarter ways to manufacture things that reduce costs, that improve lead time, and all those types of things. So we really want to work with those types of customers, which is one of the main reasons why we're here at PTC, is finding other customers who have that same exact mentality that we have.
I love it. Ben, is this your first PTC?
Yes, it is.
Welcome to PTC, man. I can see a lot of folks on this floor right now who would probably be very interested in some of the services that you provide. So thank you very much.
You bet. Thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
Of course. Our pleasure. And thank you, viewers, for watching JSA TV. We'll see you real soon.